Welcome back to the HR space with Lillian, where we break down workplace issues into simple human language. I am Lillian, a PHRI certified HR professional, and I am on this journey with you. And we are continuing our conversation on how to complain to HR without making things worse. In part one, we talk about preparation, how to be specific, how to document everything, how to separate facts from feelings, and how to know what outcome you want. Today, we are talking about what happens after you report. What should you expect from HR? What are the red flags that HR isn't handling it well? And what do you do if HR fails you? Because filing a complaint is just the beginning. Knowing how to protect yourself throughout the process, that's what keeps you safe. Let's dive in. So, what should you expect from HR? Okay, so you have reported the issue. You came prepared with facts, dates, documentation. Now what? Here's what you should reasonably expect from a competent HR team. 1. Confidentiality to the extent possible. HR should handle your complaints with care. That doesn't mean absolute secrecy. Sometimes we have to involve others to investigate properly. But a good HR will tell you upfront, here's what I can keep confidential. Here's where I would need to involve others. And I'll keep you informed along the line or along the way. If HR says, don't worry, no one will ever know you said this, but then immediately tells your manager without your consent, that's a problem. And 2, a fair process. HR should take your concern seriously. That means listening without dismissing you, asking clarifying questions, explaining what happens next, following up within a reasonable time frame. It doesn't mean HR will automatically take your side. It means they will investigate fairly and objectively. 3, protection from retaliation. In Ghana, the Labor Act protects employees from retaliation when they report a legitimate workplace issues. That means if you complain about harassment, discrimination, or unsafe conditions, your employer cannot legally punish you for speaking up. If you report something and suddenly your manager is writing you up for minor issues, cutting your hours, or treating you worse, that's retaliation. And you can report that too. 4, follow up and transparency. A good HR doesn't just take your complaints and disappear. They should tell you what steps they are taking, give you a timeline from when you will hear back, update you on the outcome within the limits of confidentiality. You might not get every detail. HR can't always share what disciplinary action was taken against someone else, but you should know that your complaint was taken seriously and action was taken. So now I want to be real with you. Not all HR teams handle complaints well, and you need to know the red flags so you can protect yourself. So red flag 1, they dismiss you without asking questions. If you report an issue and HR immediately says, oh, that's just how he or she is, or you are being too sensitive, without even investigating, that's not okay. Red flag 2, they tell your manager immediately without your consent. If you specifically ask for discretion and HR goes straight to your manager saying, your employee complained about you, that's breach of trust. And red flag 3, weeks go by with no updates. If you report something serious and HR ghosts you for weeks with no communication, that's a problem. Even if they can't share every detail, they should at least acknowledge they are working on it. Red flag 4, you face retaliation and HR does nothing. If your situation gets worse after reporting and HR doesn't step in to protect you, that's a failure. Remember, protection from retaliation is a legal right. So what to do if HR fails you? So what do you do if HR isn't helping? You're not helpless. You have options. And option 1, Escalate internally. Go to a higher HR manager, a different department head, or a senior leader you trust, because sometimes the issue is with one person in HR, not the entire organization. And option two, document everything. Keep a detailed record of what you reported and when, how HR responded or didn't, any retaliation you experienced, all communications, which is emails, meeting notes, etc. This documentation becomes critical if you need to take further action. And option three, know your legal options. In Ghana, you can report to the Labor Commission if your employer isn't addressing serious issues like harassment, discrimination, or unfair treatment. You can also consult a labor lawyer to understand your rights and options. And option four, seek external support. Talk to a lawyer specializing in employment law, a labor union if you are part of one, an external HR consultant, a trusted mentor or advisor outside the company. Sometimes you need an outside perspective to understand whether what's happening is normal or if your rights are being violated. And here is something important. If HR has genuinely failed you and you have exhausted internal options, sometimes the healthiest thing is to start looking for a new opportunity. I know that's not unfair. That's not fair. I know you shouldn't have to leave because someone else behaved badly. But your well-being matters more than any job. Protect yourself first. And I am not saying this is easy. I am saying it's necessary. Speaking up at work takes courage, and you deserve to work in a place where problems get solved, not swept away. As I grow in this profession, I am learning what good HR looks like and what employees need from you to feel safe speaking up. And here's what I want you to remember. Prepare your complaint with facts, dates, and documentation. Know what outcome you want. Expect confidentiality, fairness, and protection from retaliation. Recognize the red flags when HR isn't helping. Know your options if HR fails you. And most importantly, you're not powerless. Even when initial systems fail, you have rights, you have options, and you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. That is it for the part two of how to complain to HR without making things worse. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs it. And if you have questions or want me to tackle a specific scenario in a future episode, drop a comment or send a message. And always remember, HR isn't just about policies, it's people, and you matter. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.